Hi everyone, welcome to a new video series. In this case, we're gonna be working with JavaScript technology. I mean JavaScript vanilla. We're gonna learn a lot about JavaScript from the variables to the timing and the datas, passing to the DOM, functions, arrays, and everything involved JavaScript technology. But the first one, concretely in this video, we're gonna work with variables. The first thing we need to do is create our folder. I put here my folder called JavaScript tutorials, and I'm gonna put it in Visual Code. The first thing I wanted to do in this folder is creating index.html because we need to connect it between HTML, our style, CSS file, and JavaScript. We're gonna have for now two files, the index and the script.js. The first thing I'm gonna create it inside the JavaScript tutorial folder, I'm gonna put index HTML. And now we're gonna start working with our projects. I mean, gonna be project, it's gonna be more tutorials, explain how everything is working. I have everything ready now. My documents. I'm gonna put JavaScript, JavaScript. I'm gonna put the name of title of this video gonna be variable, and I'm gonna put here the script. Okay. Remember, in JavaScript, we created the file. In this case, the label of script. Always we're gonna put it in down top. Sorry, the bottom of our body, okay, because it's the way make the browser download all our documents very fast. We're gonna put script and we're gonna start working with script. Gonna be source. I'm gonna create it source and they're gonna be I'm gonna put the name of app.js. Again, I'm gonna go here and create the file of app.js. Now we have everything ready. Now we're gonna start working with variables. What is variables? Variables is basically a container of value. For example, we're gonna put variable of name. This is our container, and our value gonna be my name, gonna be between double quotes Yasin. This is our variables. Bar, it's how we created the variables, and the container is name, and the value of name it's my name. In this case, it's Yasin. We use the name of variables. We can delete it and use name. Gonna still working, but gonna generated us a lot of problem when we start working with a lot of variables, and that problem is gonna be called scoop. We don't gonna basically we're gonna have problems to have access our variable name. Imagine having 10 variables, name, age, favorite color, favorite food, without var, declaration of var. That means all those variables they are the same. Basically, we are not differentiate between each variables. For that, we created the var. We can use let. Let is a little bit more restrictive to change the value, and the const. This is the third one. Const is impossible to change the value. Basically, it's constant value. Okay, the variable we can change whatever we wanna. For now, we're gonna use the variables, but the large projects, if you work, for example, with React, if you are working with database, in MySQL, you're working with Node.js Server, Express, the most recommended is using its less or const. For user creating the login, the form, the most used is without any doubts the consts. But for now, we're gonna still working with that. And when we use the variables, basically it's creating our products. We are working with our basically we are classifying the values of our projects. Uh, Example, I can give you a little bit example. For example, if I wanted to screen it, put it in the screen, we can use the alerts. Basically gonna pop up alert in our browser. And of course the variables, it's necessary for any project you're gonna work. You need it for every question, or sorry, for every project you need. Basically for now we're gonna use alerts, and inside the name, before we do anything, we're gonna put between double quotes, sorry, for example, the property of name. We're gonna save it, and we're gonna go to file, and we're gonna refresh. We're gonna go back to our, and here we go, we have a name. But if I wanted to put here, for example, the my name, and to print it in our screen, we do it. We go here, and here we go. Now we're gonna work if with different name. I mean my last name. We're gonna put our last name, and we save it, and we go to our, and here we go, my first name and my second last name. But if we need to do that, it's gonna be long uh, alert. For that, we're gonna create it what's called a concatenation. For that, we need to create it our variable of last name, and we're gonna put between double quotes my last name. Inside the alert, without the quotes, we're gonna put the name plus last name, and we save it. We save it, and we go to our browser, and you can see between between my name and last name we don't have space. For that, we're gonna go back to alerts, and what we're gonna do is create false space. For that, we need to create a double quotes, and we put plus. Now we're gonna save it, and we're gonna refresh. We're gonna refresh, and here we go. Now we have space, okay? Because we created a false uh, double quotes, and of course, remember, you need to put a space inside the double quotes, because JavaScript gonna read it like this. Okay, gonna start from name to false space, and gonna continue from the top to the bottom. Okay, it's how we worked programming, or how JavaScript read the programming and the code, um, and we need to follow their rules. Okay, now we have a space. We're gonna go back again. Now we're gonna work with the prompt. I gonna commentate this alerts, and we're gonna start working. Sorry, I'm gonna put more bigger because it's small. I don't know if you can see the code. Here we go. Now it's good enough. Now we're gonna work with the prompt. Okay, we're gonna put prompt. Basically, gonna be a function prompts, and inside the prompts, we're gonna put between double quotes. Put your name. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna save it. We're gonna go to browse. Prompt basically gonna give us option to write our name. We're gonna refresh, and here we go. You can see, and inside the prompt we're gonna put, for example, Yasin, and they're gonna give it, okay, and here we go. Now if we wanted to put the data inside our storage, or confirmation of if his name is correct, we need to put here the name and equal to the, now what we need to do is delete our last name and our name, because we're gonna give the option to the user when he put his name here. We're gonna send to the name, and the value of variable name gonna be the name user put it inside our prompts. For example, I save it, and yeah, and of course we can put it in our screen. We print it on our screen using alerts, and name. Now we save it and we go to the browser. Now we're gonna put our name, Yasin, and we gonna give it enter. And here we go. We have alert with our name. We put it inside our prompt. Basically work for second line. We put the name inside the prompt, and the prompt gonna send the value of name to the name, to variable, okay, and the variable name gonna storage that data. And of course when the variable storage the data, gonna send it to our screen using the alert, because we give it the permission to use alerts. We cannot change anything. We cannot put documents write, for example, but for now we are happy with alert. It's basically to make you sure to understand what is variable. Variable basically is storage of data. We created a variable of name and you're gonna storage the data, for example, of my name. For example, it's Yasin. Now the data it's gonna be storage in the property of name. One thing more, don't confuse the data with storage inside the variable name. It's not database, okay? It's just basically storage of RAM. Basically, we storage the value, we put it inside the prompt for second. Basically, when we refresh the browser, the data gonna disappear, okay? I'm gonna give you an example. We're gonna go to the browser and we're gonna refresh. We're gonna put our data. Now the data gonna be stored in the RAM of our browser. We're gonna we're gonna refresh, and the data disappear. Okay, when we refresh, basically the data disappear. Don't confuse with the database. For the database, we're gonna use a lot. Okay, MongoDB, MySQL, NoSQL, SQL, wherever you wanna. But don't confuse this part, because a lot of people get confused. The storage of RAM, you're gonna work with the DOM and of course in Reactor RAM. React is very good for that, but for now just get with the variable is not sorry, the storage we get it inside the RAM of the browser is not the same the storage we get it in the database. Now we're gonna change the alert for, I say you before, with document is the second way you're gonna use it, but it's more descriptive. Okay, the document write, basically we are writing the name in the browser, not just a pop-up. And we're gonna put here name. We save it and we go to the browser. Now we refresh. We're gonna put our name, Yasin, and we accept it. And here we go. We will write the name inside the browser, not in the pop-up. Okay, you're gonna see it here. We go back to Visual Code. The third one, it's most famous for the developers. It's gonna be console.log. We're gonna put the name and we go to the browser. We save it. We go, and now we are inside the browser. We put the name and we cannot see anything. We put F12 to open our elements inspection, and we go to the, and here we go. You can see it here, documents, variable, JavaScript. Okay, and now we're gonna see our files, HTML, the script of JS. We're gonna put inside the console, and here we go. The data we get it in app.js inside our browser. Basically it's Yasin. Okay, and here we go. Now we're gonna go to our browser and we're gonna create some of our um, prompts and variables. For that, we're gonna put, first of all, we're gonna put document write, because we want to write our data. Document write, we're gonna put here gonna be the var of last name. We're gonna create more variables. Var last name equal, and again here I'm gonna put the prompt. In this case gonna be last name. Last name. Put your last name. Now we're gonna create it again one more, and we're gonna put of age. Our variable gonna call age. We're gonna change a age. Now inside here, inside the document we're gonna put the name. We wanted to show name, show last name, and the third one is age. And we save it. Now we're gonna refresh, and we're gonna put Yasin name, the last name, Haji, Haji, and the age. I mean 27. And here we go. You're gonna see it. But what we said before, if we wanna have in space, we need to create it false space with double quotes. Okay. For example, double quotes space space double quotes space inside the quotes, and like something like this. Okay, but we're gonna create it inside the age. And here we go. Now we have space. We save it and we go back. We start again. Yasin name, Haji, and the age is 27. And you can see now we have the space between each variable. This method is called concatenation. Okay, it's basically we put a variable together with another variable, and we're gonna give it space, creating false space. Basically, when we created these double quotes, we are creating false variable or non view variable. Basically, you can see the variable, but you can see the space. But remember, inside the the variables, we can do calcul. Okay, for example, bar h. We can put, for example, we're gonna delete this one, and we're gonna put here, for example, 26 more 1, and we save it. We go to the browser and we refresh, and here we go, 27. We did the calcul of 26 more plus 1, that means 27. And yeah, this is everything about the variables. The next one gonna be about type of data we can storage. Okay, thank you, and we see you in the next video.